At 4:17 a.m. on a cold February morning, several amateur radio operators across northern Colorado picked up an emergency broadcast. A man's voice, trembling, panicked, whispered, "If anyone can hear me, he's here. He found me, please." Just then a loud crash, followed by a single chilling phrase, "You're too late." The signal cut out instantly. 40 minutes later, police were dispatched to a remote transmission shack deep in the foothills. What they discovered inside was unlike anything they had seen before. This time, everything is the opposite of untouched. The door was broken inward, splintered by a tremendous force. The desk was overturned, the radio equipment smashed. The victim, 42-year-old radio enthusiast Michael Rourke, lay on the ground. He had defensive wounds, indicating a violent struggle. Several objects were missing: his backpack, his external hard drive, and his field logbook. While he recorded strange radio frequencies he scanned every night, police immediately knew this was not a simple burglary. The radio club provided authorities with the captured audio. Experts confirm the voice belonged to Michael. The intruder's voice was male, gravelly. Calm, no background noise indicated an accomplice. The signal origin matched Michael's shack. Exactly. But one detail stood out. The entire distress call was broadcast on a frequency no one uses anymore. A retired emergency band discontinued in 2002. Michael had apparently found something he wasn't supposed to find. The radio club provided. Authorities with the captured audio, experts confirm the voice belonged to Michael. The intruder's voice was male, gravelly, calm. No background noise indicated an accomplice. The signal origin matched Michael's shack exactly. But one detail stood out. The entire distress call was broadcast on a frequency no one uses anymore. A retired emergency band discontinued in 2002. Michael had apparently found something he wasn't supposed to find. A man in a dark jacket standing on a ridge near the shack around 3:50 a.m., roughly 30 minutes before the distress broadcast. The hiker remembers the man wasn't hiking, he wasn't moving. He was facing the shack, and he was wearing a military-style earpiece when the hiker passed. The man slowly turned around and whispered, "You didn't see me." The hiker left immediately. This was the first confirmed sighting of a possible suspect. When police couldn't find Michael's missing logbook, they assumed it was stolen. But a week later, a janitor at a nearby university found an unmarked envelope inside a library, returned Ben. Inside was Michael's logbook. Only one page was ripped out, the last page he wrote on. The entries before that revealed he had been monitoring a repeating coded frequency, broadcasting at exactly 3:11 a.m. every night on an abandoned government band. His last entry: "Someone else is on the frequency tonight. They're triangulating me. I think they're coming." Here, he followed it with GPS coordinates, the exact location of his transmission shack. Someone had been tracking him through the airwaves. Michael's smashed radio had a removable SD card. Forensics recovered a single audio clip recorded 12 minutes before his death. It contains static, a rhythmic clicking, then a voice, a clear, confident voice saying, "Michael, stop listening." Experts could not determine how the voice got onto his private recording channel. Investigators traced the mysterious frequency. It originated from an old decommissioned military relay station deep in the mountains, abandoned since the mid-90s. But when detectives reached the location, the entire interior had been cleared out. Everything. Cables, machines, racks, paper, tools, even the dust gone. The building looked scrubbed professionally. Recently, someone visited the abandoned station long after it should have been inactive, and likely only days before Michael's murder. To this day, a killer has never been found. The only evidence is a smashed door, a distress broadcast, a missing final logbook page, a mysterious voice ordering him to stop, and the lone witness who saw a man watching the shack before it happened. Michael's murder is officially classified as homicide with suspected surveillance motive. But radio experts believe he stumbled onto something very few civilians ever encounter: a ghost. Frequency, a forgotten channel still used by someone who didn't want to be found. Someone who tracks anyone who hears it. Someone who may still be broadcasting today. 3 weeks after Michael's murder, Detectives receive unexpected assistance from an atmospheric monitoring researcher who sometimes tracks unusual electronic interference in remote regions. He tells police that the night Michael died, a brief but extremely strong spike in radio interference occurred over the foothills, a spike consistent with a high-powered directional transmitter, operated from a mobile setup, not a station. On the exact frequency Michael was tracking, the researcher adds something even more alarming. The interference originated from the air, meaning a moving aircraft, drone, or helicopter. Police check local flight logs. No aircraft were reported in the area at the time. Someone was operating off the books. 7 miles from the transmission shack, detectives visit a rural gas station to check surveillance footage from the night before Michael was killed. At 1:03 a.m., the cameras capture a tall man wearing a hood and carrying a backpack. Matching the hiker-esque description, he doesn't buy anything. He doesn't fuel a vehicle. He stands near pump 3 for exactly 46 seconds, staring at the highway leading toward Michael's shack. Then he makes a call on a satellite phone. The audio is not recorded, but his lips clearly say one chilling phrase. He hasn't stopped listening. He then walks into the darkness behind the building and disappears. He was never seen again. Forensics finally decrypt the corrupted portion of Michael's final distress signal. The last 0 point for seconds contain a background whisper, not from Michael and not from the intruder in the shack. A third voice whispering, phase complete. Experts rule it out as audio bleed echo or interference. It is a separate voice, recorded on a different audio layer. This suggests there were multiple people monitoring his frequency that night, and at least one of them was not physically present in the shack. A month after the murder, a postal worker finds a torn padded envelope that fell behind a sorting machine. The label is soaked and unreadable, but inside is Michael's missing external hard drive. It was mailed before his death. The drive contains GPS coordinate clusters, a map of abandoned Cold War listening posts, dozens of audio spectrograms, and a spreadsheet labeled "Don't ignore these." One entry lists the same frequency he died. Monitoring are beside it. He wrote, "Someone else using dead channels? They shouldn't exist anymore. If they do, it's not random." 2 months later, hikers report an abandoned pickup truck deep in the mountains. When deputies arrive, they notice the vehicle has no plates. All the numbers are scratched off. The interior is stripped. A military-style headset lies on the passenger seat, and a satellite phone battery is wedged into the console. When the truck is towed, technicians find fingerprints. But here's the twist. They match no one in the national database. Not criminals, not civilians, not military, not foreign nationals. It's like the driver never existed. 6 months after the murder, the same abandoned frequency Michael was tracking activates again. 3 short pulses, then silence. Multiple listeners record it. It is confirmed to be the same signature as the one detected the night he died. The activation lasts only 14 seconds. But in that time, a faint signal embeds itself on the channel, a digitally encoded packet. Once decoded, it reveals a single disturbing sentence: transmission verified. Target removed. No one knows who the target is. Authorities will not comment. 3 states away, in New Mexico, a retired weather technician is reported missing. He told his son the night before he vanished that he had picked up something strange on the bands and was going to check it out. When police search his workshop, they discover a radio setup nearly identical to Michael's, the same frequency labeled in red marker, a printed article about Michael's death, and a sticky note on his desk reading, "If you're hearing this, to stop listening. His case remains unsolved." Investigators now believe Michael Rourke's death was not an isolated crime. He may have stumbled onto a covert signal operated by individuals capable of tracking listeners, violently silencing them, scrubbing locations, operating aircraft off official records, and erasing their identities from systems. To this day, the frequency remains dormant mostly, but radio hobbyists claim that once every few months, late at night, a faint coded message bursts through the static for just a few seconds, always on the same unused channel, always coming from somewhere deep in the mountains. Some believe it's part of an old abandoned military program. Others think it's something more organized, and far more dangerous. One thing is certain, Michael didn't die because he heard nothing. He died because he heard too much.